You just met my pride and joy, Miranda, and I hope you enjoyed seeing how we treat her. Now I'd like to go over some of the finer points of treating newborns and what you do with mothers during pregnancy and so on and so forth. I think that you'll find it helpful. And one of the goals I have is to get this kind of work into the nursery of every hospital, because I really believe that if a newborn is treated craniosacrally within the first few days of life, you could probably rule out at least 50% of the learning disabilities that occur. You could rule out an awful lot of seizure problems, and I think you could just generally have a healthier child. Unfortunately, there's a lot of resistance to bringing this, quote, unknown therapy into the hospital setting. I've had excuses used in terms of insurance doesn't cover it, all kinds of ideas. Pediatrics sometimes doesn't like to share the territory, and we're not really trying to take it away from anybody. We just want to help the child. The main thing is to help the patient, not to protect your own territory. And this is a problem we've been running into significantly, and I don't think that craniosacral therapy is unknown anymore. It's quite well known, and considering its origins and everything, and considering its age. But when I came up with it back at Michigan State in about 1976 or 7, I was informed by the professional researchers that what I had come up with would take at least 25 years for the medical profession to accept. That's the standard. And we're at 25 and a little bit over now, so I think it's about time that we got into the places where we can do the most good. And as far as I'm concerned, one of the places where we can do the most good is in the hospital nursery. If we can treat the child that has had a traumatic birth, and most births in hospitals are somewhat traumatic, or if we can treat the child if we can treat the child that has, through the placenta, received some anesthetic medications and so on and so forth at the time of birth, it would be so good if we could get rid of those things so that that child can come up without fear, without damage, without energy cysts, and so on and so forth. And so I just want to make that point that if you have any way at all that we can get into one hospital or another hospital or any birthing situation, we'd be happy to have craniosacral therapists go in there and just do their services on day 1, day 2. If you have a normal delivery, it takes about 10 minutes to totally evaluate a baby. And if you don't find anything wrong, or if it's just a simple thing that you can fix, it's about a 10 or 15 minute procedure. And that isn't an awful lot to give for the possibility that you might save that child a great deal of trouble later on. What I would like to emphasize is that the thing that I've learned over the years by my experience in treating newborns is that these babies have every bit of bodily intelligence that an adult has. The messages are more subtle. I said this earlier and I'll say it again. What you have to learn to do if you're going to treat newborns is respond and discern very subtle messages from the body. Once you learn to do that, you don't have to decide. But when you're in the process of learning how to treat a newborn, then you have to make some decisions on your own, and you have to go through some protocol that you know will work if something went wrong. And it's kind of like the 10-step protocol in craniosacral therapy 1. It's to train your hands and your perceptions. So we do have some protocol for treating newborns and infants, but by the same token, as you develop experience, you'll begin to understand that that infant body tells you precisely what it needs. And if you can blend with that body and follow those instructions, then you'll have absolutely no problem, and you'll get a tremendous amount of success.
你豔陽斜照，心興奮怎麼遮掩？回味撞人無數，天真的可愛笑臉，沒有了困倦煩惱，拋走了世俗負累，來共醉於此刻歌聲裏，譜出溫馨美妙，多動人尋夢調，傾出光輝歲月。
Because in craniosacral therapy, it's very important to have that free movement of the sacrum in between both hip bones. I personally see a lot of people that have chronic pain, that have trauma or high anxiety or have tinnitus or whiplash or concussion, and then I work a lot with the head and the bones, and I assess the movements that the bones make. In the skull, I work with the intracranial membranal system inside the head, which is the tissue inside your brain. And if there's been a fall or even severe trauma, then usually this is quite impacted, and I would feel for that and try and nudge that along to come back into balance and to in alignment. Another thing that we work with is sinus problems. This, for instance, is your superior sagittarius sinus. We will work with that to get the fluid better flowing again and to address any sinus problems, congestion, restrictions that there might actually be.
我哋唔會俾過多嘅，因為如果我哋順應頭先嗰個自愈全身5部曲，我哋係 feel 住佢嘅筋膜嘅流動，去帶動佢嗰個身體嘅反應。咁嗰個係佢身體做主導，唔係我哋嘅計算。咁所以唔會過多嘅，佢夠咧佢就唔會 take up 㗎啦。咁所以頭先你話做幾耐咧？任何一陣洋葱皮嘅釋放都係一個好嘅治療嘅效果。喺我哋唔知頭唔知路，個 client 又唔知頭唔知路，原來 approach 話咧咁樣咧都有咧20%大師級嘅療效。